I should sing in the meantime. Well, no, that probably scared people away. I saw Sarah as well.
Yes, great.
Yes. Hi, Rocky.
How are you? Thanks
Can you hear me?
for yes.
Okay.
Can you hear us?
Yes.
Okay, great. So, just so you know, Dan Haller is here as well. And if you just got muted,
Hey, Dan.
I'll unmute him. There we go.
Hello, Asaf.
There you go. Again, just another minute or so, and we'll get started with the APM Practitioners Forum now under the Vivid umbrella. Attendees are coming in. We'll get started here in about 30 seconds. Okay. Let's get started. We've got a number of people on the line. I'm going to, we'll go through the process here. And so, first of all, I'd like to welcome everyone to Vivid. If you're not familiar with us, you will get to know us a little bit today. We are running the first APM Practitioners Forum under the Vivid umbrella, and we plan to do this on a monthly basis. Let's see. I am Rocky Pisto. I'm one of the BSM SIG leaders. I'm a longtime Vivid member, leader, running local chapters for Vivid for a long time in the Mid-Ohio Valley. We're supported by a number of leaders around the world, Jim Copio, Bill Allen, Mark Laird, Sandy Schubert, and myself to support the BSM SIG and to provide events like we're having today, as well as SIG events that occur during the course of the year. Before we get started, a little housekeeping here just to kind of keep everybody in tune with what we're doing. You should have a screen here that you see where you've got a window to toggle between full screen, or you can hide the thing by clicking on the orange arrow. You can ask questions as well by typing in the questions, and we'll try to moderate those and answer them as we go along. This is a live session, so it's going to be recorded. Maybe not what you've done before as part of the HP process, but I think it helps people hear the good, the bad, the ugly, as well as Jim Copio's taking notes that we'll keep on the BSM SIG page as well for those that didn't quite get the information during the call, or for those that want to get on it later and catch up on what the call was about. So first of all, a few months ago, I ran into one of our HP counterparts, and he asked us if we'd be willing to take over the current APM forum as well as the operations manager forum. And so I took it to the BSM SIG leaders and suggested that, this might be a good thing for us to help support the community, since that's what Vivid's all about. And we decided to take it over. And so it's a combination of both the operations manager practitioner forum and the APM kind of rolled into one. And we'll try to provide these things, again, on a monthly basis to address issues, concerns, good, bad, ugly, and kind of cover things that are happening as you work with the tools. So for those of you that don't know who we are, Vivid is the independent software user group, which is a perfect home for the APM practitioner forum. We've been around for over 20 years. If you've been an OM customer or a N&M customer, you'll have known us as the OpenView Forum. And again, back when HP started acquiring a lot of software, the word OpenView disappeared along with Mercury, Peregrine, and all the rest. So we had to change our name as well. Our BSM SIG membership today is currently around 5,800 people worldwide, and Vivid's made up of about 24,000 HP software users, partners, and HP themselves around the world. And from a physical perspective, we've got roughly 76 local chapters around the world. So if there's not one in your town and you'd like to get people together, feel free to talk to us about getting more engaged and bringing your fellow customers together to learn from each other. Okay, come on. Move. There we go. So, you know, we thought it was a great thing to bring the APM practitioner forum to Vivid because it gives you a unique opportunity to share your experience and learn from others, like-minded practitioners. So for Vivid members that weren't part of that, this is another way of bringing us together. So again, these it's going to be focused monthly. Best practice is strategies, anything from any topic, whether it's just you're new at this or you've been doing it a long time. We've got roughly an hour to address any questions and concerns. It's going to be kind of a roundtable format. It's basically the first one up, or if you raise your hand, I'll unmute you, and we'll talk, and then we'll try to have interaction going back and forth within the topic of scope. And once it's done, we'll move on to the next question or topic, and just keep it going for an hour and see how it goes. Just for your information, the next meeting will be on October 29th at 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So that's our next scheduled event. And for all the news around BSM SIG, the Vivid BSM SIG, here's the link. We'll have this presentation on the BSM SIG site as well, but you can join Vivid or see the Vivid site by going to www.vivid-worldwide.org, and then you can find SIGs and find ours. So here's maybe something that we can start with going around, but let's see. I've got the question button here, and okay, great. At this point, anyone that wants to speak, I think there's a raise your hand button. In fact, what I might do is just unmute everyone and just see if that's too noisy. If it is, then we'll block it out again.
Muted.
Oops. There's activity. Okay. So does anyone want to start us out? That may be too much noise. Dan, you had an update you wanted to share with us, didn't you?
Yes.
Yes.
Hi, Rocky.
Hi, Rocky.
I just have
There's
a little bit of a
Unmuted.
Hi, I'll try again. I do have an announcement that we're getting very close to the launch of the HP App Pulse Mobile. So if you are a partner or an HP person, just remind you that on Tuesday of this week we held a sales awareness webinar, and next Tuesday, the 30th, will be a technical awareness webinar to go over the kind of the final cut of the features for the first release. And sometime soon, if you're a customer, you should expect to see that we're moving from a beta into a production mode. And you'll have the opportunity, of course, to purchase a license for continuing to use and getting value from the HP App Pulse Mobile.
Okay, great. And also I've had an announcement that we should mention that the BSM 9.24 IP Release 1 is being released this week as well. And not sure if I can, if you want to expand on that, Asaf, that's up to you.
Yeah, sure. I think it's an important patch. Lots of enhancement requests and defect fixes from many customers. So you can install it on top of 924. Really recommend it. I think it was released earlier this week or late last week. So I'm not sure if you already got a chance to download it and try to install it, but you should whenever you have the time.
And I thought there's going to be a number of new releases within the BSM suite coming out here in the next 6 months from my understanding. I'm not sure if it's version 12 or I'm not sure what's even allowed to be spoken about, but I understand there's a lot of things coming with OMI and some of the other tools in that space, that there's going to be some new energy in there.
Yes, but we cannot talk about it. I think we'll have to wait for the coming HP Discover. Well, actually, the coming HP Discover will be in Europe. We might need to wait a little bit longer for the next one in Vegas, but yeah, there are lots of new releases coming soon.
See, and I was trying to break it here first. Oh, well.
Nice try, Rocky.
Sorry.
I almost forgot, this is Dan Holler again, that we also released Diagnostics 9.24 a week and a half ago, and that's also available. And especially if you are a customer with a large number of Java agents or .NET agents under management, there's some great tools there for helping you cope with the management of a large deployment, and some other features as well. Java 8 support, and it's available. You can download the release notes and get a short take for what's new in that release.
Okay. Sounds great. Let's see. I've got some questions here.
Well, should I start with by introducing myself? Is that as a
That'd be
icebreaker?
great.
Okay. So my name's Mark Laird. I work for Steria. We're a European IT services company. So I'm based just outside London, although I'm rarely in the UK. I'm a group architect, and in terms of HP products, I think it's probably easy to say which ones we don't use, but we are Service Manager, Business Service Manager, Operations Manager, SiteScope, the ALM family, as well as a number of the information management suite. So we're both an HP partner and a big customer in that we use the products ourselves, and a significant number of those solutions are integrated together. So for example, we have the ALM suite integrated into Service Manager, so we can do defect analysis both bi-directional. So that's me, that's what we've got.
And what I might do is just kind of go down the line on my list of people that by attendance to kind of tell us who they are and their role, just like you did, Mark. So the next one will be Henry Pan, and I'm going to release you so we don't get all that static. And Henry, just tell us who you are. Let's see if I can unmute you somehow. Looks like I'm not having any fun unmuting. Stephanie, can you unmute Henry?
I'm trying to unmute Henry. He's got himself muted.
I see.
Yes.
Well, then let's go.
Try unmuting.
Go down.
Henry, try unmuting yourself.
If he can't, we'll come back to him. But
Okay, Brian, I'm going to try and mute you. Yep. Okay. So Henry's got himself. Okay, I was successful. Okay. So Henry, can you, if you can hear us, can you unmute yourself on your telephone or the toolbar? Okay.
that's okay. Let's go down to Courtney Jimenez.
Okay, I'll unmute you, Courtney. Courtney, Courtney is muted. Also, you have to unmute yourself, Courtney. There you go.
Hello.
Courtney's live.
Can you
Hi.
hear me?
Yes.
Excellent. Thank you for the chance to speak. My name is Courtney Jimenez. I work for the Capital Group Companies. We are a financial services institution. We're kind of changing roles here, but currently I'm a system administrator. We're responsible for implementing and supporting the tools and supplying SOPs and direction for our managed services folks. We're using a lot of HP products. So we have BSM, SiteScope, RUM, Diagnostics, BPM, NNMI, and a few of those are integrated together. I think everything but NNMI and SiteScope are integrated together. And then we have UCMDB for discoveries as well. So that's our tool set. We're getting off the ground with RUM and Diagnostics. I really like the Diagnostics tools, a lot of deep dive capabilities there. And RUM, again, just getting started with that. We actually have our infrastructure here, but it's onboarding our application teams, finding a RUM tap, and getting all that north-southbound traffic to be captured has been a bit of a challenge for us. But we're getting that together, and we're making some strides. So that's it for me.
Have you seen Diagnostics 9.24 yet?
I have not. We just installed 9.23 about 2 weeks ago in our production environment. But I was going to ask what the major capabilities are, but I'm sure the response would be go look at the release notes. So probably something I plan on doing here shortly.
Well, thanks, Courtney. Appreciate that. Any question you might have or anything you want to bring to the group?
Nothing at the moment. I think most of the challenges we have are not so much as tool related, but are internal and process related. But yeah, I definitely like this forum. I was on the last one that HP was sponsoring, so I'm glad I could shift over to the Vivid side. That's great.
Great, thank you. Let's go to Eric Castellano.
Casciato, can you hear me?
Yes, good.
Oh, that's good. So I somehow got myself right using the unmute and all that other stuff you guys were talking about a minute ago. Sorry, I was a little late to my meeting.
No problem.
Yeah, so my name is Eric Casciato. I'm from the Lubrizol Corporation, And we have almost, like the first guy had mentioned, I didn't catch his name because I was trying to fumble through getting on the phone, but we almost have all the HP products. We don't use some of the more like some of the PPM stuff and some of the more diagnostic related type stuff, but we have SM, we have BSM, we have Executive Scorecard, we have HP Anywhere, we have Asset Manager Connected, UCMDB, pretty much the whole, all those, the main players when it comes to, and we're getting to the level almost of service excellence. So we've been working really hard over the past, like, I don't know, I'd say maybe 7, 8 years, really trying to get all this to fall into place, and we're actually getting the business to run more, getting IS to run more like a business. So we have services defined, we have roles, we have portfolio owners. We're really the whole shebang, and of course we have a lot more work to do still, but we're definitely moving in the right direction. So when it comes to some of our pain points that, I'm one of the responsible engineers, architects, tool administrator, whatever you want to call it, for BSM and Executive Scorecard. But with BSM, the USCMDB administrator, if you want to say, she wasn't able to make it today, but essentially some of the major pain points we're running into now is about integration and syncing between UCMDB and BSM. Because of us having UCMDB being our truth and our main repository, really all we want BSM to do is just essentially consume like models and things of that nature. And we're getting the models to come over via the sync. However, when we delete something, or like say for example we tie IP addresses to nodes, and if they'll fall out after a certain amount of time, but if we want to make that happen, because we have a decommission request for decommissioning of servers, and when we decommission that, basically that change ticket creates tasks, and the tasks come to individual teams. When it comes to the UCMDB queue, configuration management we call it queue, she will remove it from an IP address, which then should remove it from the model. Well, when we do those type of activities, it doesn't translate to come over into BSM. So, an RTSM, to be more specific. But we have tried something recently when it comes to like how we have our model, and because we also have an infrastructure service. So, essentially, not to go into even more detail than I already did. Like we have a model that's called our LZ Logical CI Sync, okay, and that has a service at the top. If you can just picture it like a diamond, so we have service at the top, business application on the left, and we have darn it, I have my screenshot. I created all this so I can kind of run this all off to you quickly. Business application on the left. I think it's our infrastructure application on the right, and then we have infrastructure service on the bottom. Well, what we've recently done is actually expanded that from infrastructure service down to the node. And we did a couple tests actually this week and found out that it actually did remove a couple of them. We have more testing to do, but what is, like, when it comes to some of this, what's like the best practice, I guess, is what we're always trying to find when it comes to the syncing and integration type stuff. Along with, we read something about auto update. Now, we're on 9.2.2 of BSM currently with the patch because we were on the older version. We haven't had time to upgrade yet, but when it comes to 9.2.2, is auto update even a feature? I know in 9.2.3 we were reading some of the documentation there. Auto update is like all over that document, or one of the documents, should I say, because there's like a whole document suite. But so I know that's kind of a lot. I apologize. I just want to get it all out there before I forget any of it.
No, thanks, Eric. And you know, you're here in my home state, and Lubrisol is a great Vivid supporter. We've done events up there as well. So we should probably have one around the BSM suite here soon. That'd be great.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
So I'll work with you on that because I'm the local chapter here for Ohio. So,
okay, good.
Thanks. let's go to, I'm sure I'll kill this name as well, Rafadal.
Rocky? Rocky?
Yes.
This is
Yes.
Can I answer, Eric, some
Yeah,
of the
go
questions?
ahead. Absolutely. You're my expert.
So there were a few comments you made about best practice and how to delete the CI. I think with regard to modeling and topology integration, it's I like to mention to the customers I'm working with, it's like a chicken soup recipe. There isn't just one correct answer. It all depends on which tools you have and what are the use cases and processes that you have in the organization. So I can talk about some best practices which might work for you, but they might not. As a best practice, you're right, you should do all your modeling in CMDB and push those to RTSM. It's also fine to delete the CIs from CMDB, and then when you're doing the integration job in RTSM to pull the topology from CMDB, because you're running 922, only from 923 or later we support also push from CMDB 10. But in your case, RTSM is pulling the topology from CMDB. You have a checkbox over there which allow you to delete CIs based on changes that are happening on the CMDB. Also, for that to happen, the integration job need to be scheduled. If you're running it manually and not on an ad hoc basis, that doesn't do the deletion. Only on the scheduled basis, when we're discovering the changes in the CMDB side, we delete those from RTSM. So that's a good approach. Keep in mind that there are data collectors that report their topology to RTSM, which then should reconcile with the topology coming from CMDB. So you need to make sure that also changing the IP address of a server, for example, you need to change it in the OM or site scope that's monitoring that server, because they might report the old IP as it's configured in the monitor and not as what's happening in real life.
That's a great point. Asaf, how are you? Thank you very much for chiming in too. I appreciate that. That's a great point. We actually started discussing that, the UCNB person and I. We were trying to figure out, is there a way to maybe slim down some of the actual reconciliation that BSM is doing? We really literally only wanted to, when it comes at least from the model perspective and from UCMDB, to consume. And that's it. I understand there's a lot of moving parts in BSM. It's its own mini suite to me, right? Because we have SiteScope, we're also using BPMs, we're not using RUM, but so we have all these different things coming in, and it does have to reconcile. But is there a way we can maybe scope that down a little bit, so that way, some of it doesn't have to pull it back in if we have it to delete from, say, the model, and then all of a sudden SiteScope brings it back in again or something. That's what we were starting to investigate.
There are several ways. Changing the reconciliation rule or identification rule, as we call them, is not recommended. I will be honest with you. They were written and designed by R&D based on all the cases we find. I've seen cases that customers did change identification rule because in their environment they didn't need all the out-of-the-box content. For example, reconciliation of a business application. In their cases, they reconcile only based on the name. They don't care about anything else, and it works for them because in their environment, each application is unique and the name is case sensitive. For nodes, I would be very careful making those changes. But if you have a SiteScope or OM and you're saying, my topology must come from CMDB, I don't need the topology from SiteScope or from OM, that's fine. You can send only the events, and keep in mind that you might not resolve the events or the metric to the right CI because the monitor thinks the CI is A, and in RTSM the CI is B because this is how it came from CMDB.
Okay. All right. That's definitely something we'll discuss about when we meet again.
I would recommend to try to send the topology and see if it reconciles or not, and for those specific cases where the topology is changed and the monitor is not, maybe there is another approach on resolving that issue rather than changing the reconciliation or to strip down the topology at all. This is why we have this reconciliation process in RTSM, to make sure CIs coming from different sources will reconcile.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
Great conversation. And let's keep moving on. We've only got about less than 30 minutes, so I want to make sure we at least hear from everyone. Mufadal, Hassanian, are you on? Okay. Then let's go to, oh yes.
Hello.
Can you hear us? I hear you.
Oh, you can hear me? Okay.
Yes. Yeah, we're good. Let us know who you are.
This is Mufadal Hussain. Hello, everyone. Okay, I'm a performance consultant to United Technologies Corporation in USA.
Okay.
Basically, this company is a manufacturing company. You must have heard of Otis Elevators, Carrier company which makes heating and cooling machines like air conditioners or heaters. So it's pretty much a manufacturing company. I'm a performance consultant, and my specific role is as an administrator for HP Tools Mercury subset, I'll say. So we are using BSM, Sitescope, BPM. We also have Performance Center, Diagnostics, and we also use ALM, that is Quality Center part of it as well. I basically take care of upgrading and educating users about on different business unit about these tools and how can we can help them run a performance test before releasing a product, and after releasing a product post-production, then do a monitoring to make sure application is up and running all the time. So pretty much Mercury suite, most of them we're not using RAM, but other than that, most of it we are using it. So we have Sitescope integrated with BSM, BPM, and then we have BPM integrated with BSM as well as diagnostics. As for Performance Center, we have Sitescope integrated. That's how it is right now. Regarding some of the issues we face, especially I think during the upgrade of BSM, I think we knew that it was a tough to upgrade from 7.5 to 9. So we did have professional service in place. However, we were expecting around 3 weeks for upgrade, and it took around 3 months. That's funny. We had professional HP professional services on board over here, and still a lot of issues. And we are currently at 9.14, and like I'm scared to death, to upgrade to the next version of 9.24. That's 9.2, right? Since it's a major upgrade, it's not a patch. That's a problem. It's not something you can undo it. If you install a patch, something breaks, you undo it in a staging environment or your test environment. That is one of the biggest challenge. We were hoping something like BSM 10 or the higher version would release last year or something this year, but it's kind of delayed now. I think we will probably go for the next new version. So we will skip 9.24 completely and go to the next new version. That's what we are hoping. And again, most probably we are going to use professional services. Other than that, we also have some issues with diagnostics integration with BSM. Like it's there from end user management. You can open the diagnostics, but it doesn't take you to the point where, for example, you had a synthetic transaction running, it failed, and you want to do a breakdown in what happened on that server during that time. It will not take you the exact point where it happened, it will just give you a general idea, okay, from this time to this time what happened. It's like finding a needle in a haystack. I don't know if there is a better way to integrate it so that, we can find out exactly what was the error message or issue during that time. If someone can, shed some light over here, that would be nice to know. Other than that, something related to SiteScope, we have few new servers coming up with Windows 2012 operating system, and right now we are on latest version of SiteScope 11.24. But some of you are having a lot of difficulties monitoring Windows 2012 servers. CPU example, it will just not catch all the CPU monitors. And we keep giving error messages like you need to have more increased account of the CPU. We increase account up to 64 cores, but still not helping. I did send a note to the product manager, my HP sales rep over here and product manager, but we have not heard back. If you have any knowledge or anything which is in pipeline for 2012, that would be nice to know.
Yeah, that'd be great. Any feedback from that?
No, sorry, I don't have a insight.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Next on my list is Jim Taylor. Jim, can you hear us?
Hey guys, this is Jim Taylor. I'm out of Houston, Texas. I work for Avnet Services, and I work with a large number of clients. I run a practice that focuses on the HP operational tools, including APM, BSM, and currently engaged with a large client that pharmaceutical focus, and we're implementing. Well, we have all the tools in the APM suite pretty much in use, except for RUM, which we'll be adding, and we don't use transaction vision. So interested to hear and learn more about what's coming, especially in diagnostics.
Great. Appreciate it. Okay. How about, is it Juka?
Hi, I am here. Hopefully that this microphone is working. Okay, I'm from Finland, and I have worked with a load runner for a long time. Also used that SiteScope integration, but that's nearly all what I have done with that. So that's quite a short introduction now.
Well, are you planning on getting more involved with the BSM suite at where you work?
Oh, I'm as consultant, so I can't say contact what will I work at this time.
Do you plan on attending the HP Discover event in Barcelona this year? Do you know?
No, I have to miss that because I have another doing that at the same time.
Okay. Well, thanks for being on the call. Do you have any questions or concerns?
No, at this moment, no.
Okay, great. No problem. Thanks. Let's see. Let's go to, what do I got here? Matthew Smith.
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yep, you sound great.
Great. So I'm Matt Smith. I am with HP Software Professional Services, and I'm based out of Atlanta, Georgia, actually where SOF is located. I know him quite well, and I'll let him take care of kind of the expert side of the tools. Being on the services side, kind of why I'm here and what I'm interested in is hearing some of the pains of our customers and working more on the people and process side of things, and that's what I do in my job. Is I'm a global practice manager for the BSM suite of products within professional services. So I work with customers around, besides getting tools implemented, but also on the side of how do they actually adopt them and use them, and how does it affect their organizational structure and processes. And then also working with them about different consumption models and billing models around using our products. So interested in hearing from the customers who use that, and anyone who wants to engage around those kind of subjects, I'd be happy to do that.
If you're down in Atlanta, of course you probably travel a lot. It'd be great to have a BSM event in your area with our local chapters to kind of bring customers together to help them as well. So.
Yeah, so I haven't been that active on Vivid, and I was just starting to become more active myself, and that was I did join the Atlanta chapter and noticed there isn't a lot of activity in the Atlanta chapter, and was going to reach out to those who run it and see if I can be of any assistance.
That'd be great. We can help you.
Great.
Thank you.
Thanks all.
Keith Berger. Keith, are you there?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes, now we can. There we go. How are you?
I'm good. I'm just a listen-only attendee today. I work in HP software as well in the Atlanta area. I'm a member of the support team, so I just try and listen and see what kind of issues maybe customers have, and see if it's something that rings a bell with known issues and things like that, and just in general how customers are using the products.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
How about Randy Milkel? Randy, can you hear us?
Hey, Rocky, how are you? Can y'all hear me?
Doing great.
Great. Hi, Stephanie. Howdy, Stephanie, former Texan. Yeah, we're doing fine. I'm glad to got to meet you guys at HP Discover.
That's right.
And I just kind of, name is Randy Mickle. I'm at Halliburton in Houston, based out of Houston, and a global oil services company that we utilize a majority of the HP apps. Just to name a few: Service Manager, Connect It, Asset Manager, UCMDB, PPM, DDMI, Quality Center 11, which I call ALM Lite, and BSM and Operations Orchestration. I think I've covered all of NNMI. I think I've listed them all. Anyway, my primary focus is PPM and working with the UCMDB team as well. We do integrate a majority of these applications, share information. UCMDB touches pretty much everything, and we connect it to bring them together. And I guess I'm trying to, one of the questions I had, I learned at Discover of a new upgrade to PPM 3.0 that I'm starting to see a little bit of information on, but I'm having a hard time getting more details about it. It's not available yet. There are some compatibility matrices available on a couple of things in that line, but I'm looking more release notes and getting some more details. If anybody has information that they can share, I would like to see some of that, or post it in Vivid, or send it, contact me directly. I'd like to see it, because we're seriously looking at we need to do an upgrade as soon as possible for other technical reasons, and I would like to go to the latest available. I understand it may be available in October, but I'm not sure of the timing yet. Haven't seen anything in detail yet. So glad to be a part of this group. Thanks for
No
inviting
problem.
me.
Thank you. Thanks for attending.
Okay.
Let's go to Tom Christensen. Tom, can you hear us?
Yeah, this is Tom. Can you hear me?
We got you. Thank you.
Yeah, great, great. Yeah, my name is Tom Christensen. I'm working for HP Software in a little country named Norway. And what I'm actually working with now is a product named Operations Analytics. And the main reason I'm on the call is just listen to customers and trying to understand what they are working with and what are the pains, and yeah, learn from the group.
And that's relatively a new tool, right? I mean, I think I've seen it around for the last 6 months or so, or maybe a little longer.
A little bit longer, yes. But it's quite new. It was released in a 2.1 version in June this year. It's actually very exciting to look how HP is looking into the big data issues within operations, because as you know, guys, we have enough information, but how to manage all this information in a big data environment is a challenge. And HP is trying to address that with the Operations Analytic tool.
Great, great. Well, again, these sessions are here to hear what the customers have to say and their experience with the tools, and obviously awareness of what's coming from HP, and especially in our VSM space. Like I said, I've been a partner for HP for over 20 years since the advent of OpenView, and it's just the tremendous complexities of all these tools, but yet to support a more complex environment, it's definitely a career. All right, well, thank you. Let's go to, we've only got a few minutes left, and I think I'm trying to reach everyone. How about, I know I'm going to kill this name. Sabina, is it Binu? I can't even pronounce it, but it starts with your first name starts with a G, and your last name is Jakuk. If you can hear us. Okay. Does anyone else have anything they'd like to share with the group? I think if there's no other questions, just checking to see if there's anything in our question log. Dan, anything else from you?
No, I don't have anything else today.
Okay. Asaf, are you good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Oh, all right. Well,
nothing
again, if there's no other feedback, and again, we're going to be doing this on a monthly basis. If you have questions and don't want to wait till the end of the month, I want to show you what our SIG page looks like. So this is our special interest group focused on business service management. You see a list of the leaders on the right. These are the people that monitor what's going on here. You have the ability to ask anyone any questions. There's over, like I said, 5,800 people that are part of this group. So if you've got a question, and you can use the HP community sites as well, but here within Vivid, we have our own where we try to keep in touch with everyone. You can post it on here. If it's something you want us to email to all the members, we can do that from the SIG leader perspective and see if we can find answers for you. At least, finding the product team and those kind of things. We may not be able to solve your problem, but at least the more visibility of an issue I find, the better, so that we'll see if there's a common thread that other customers are sharing and having experienced, and try to make your tools work the way they're supposed to. So with that, I think we'll end our call today. And again, I appreciate the time and effort everyone's taken to be on the call. And again, feel free to use us to help grow your career. Thank you. Take care.
Thank you, Rocky.
You bet.